And exhale. Let your hands come down, but close your eyes, because you know, when you were children and you were fortunate enough that your parents read you stories, you mostly kept your eyes closed so you could have that vision inside your head, and you could see it, and it became so real. On a recent trip to India, this was sent to me by Arthur Brooks. On a recent trip to India, I found an opportunity to help sort out this contradiction. I sought guidance from a penniless Hindu Swami named Gyan Moonidas at the Swaminarayan Akshakam Hindu temple in New Delhi. We had never met before, but he came highly recommended by friends from the U.S. If Yelp reviewed monks, he would have had 5 stars. I don't think Yelp does. Do they? I hope they never do. That would be terrible. To my astonishment, this renunciate greeted me with a, "How you doing?" He referred to me as dude. And what was that accent? Texas? Sure enough, he had grown up in Houston, the son of Indian petroleum engineers, and had graduated from the University of Texas. Later, he got an MBA and quickly made a lot of money. But then, he had his awakening. At 26, he asked himself, is this all there is? His grappling with that question led him to India, where he renounced everything and entered a Hindu seminary. 6 years later, he emerged a monk. From that moment on, the sum total of his worldly possessions has been 2 robes, prayer beads, and a wooden bowl. He is prohibited from even touching money, a discipline that would obviously be impossible for those of us enmeshed in ordinary economic life. As an economist, I was more than a little afraid to hear what his capitalistic turned renunciant had to teach me, but I posed a query nonetheless. Swami, is economic prosperity a good or bad thing? I held my breath and waited for his answer. It's good. He replied, it has saved millions of people in my country from starvation. This is not what I expected. But you own almost nothing, I pressed. I was sure you'd say that money is corrupting. He laughed at my naivety. This is what he said that caught my mind more than anything. There is nothing wrong with money, dude. The problem in this life is attachment to money. The formula for a good life, he explained, is simple. Abundance without attachment. And when I heard those 3 words, I felt so resolved. Because I've often tried to explain, and those 3 words explained it all. Because oftentimes I say, make as much money as you can, as long as you don't harm anybody else. So then you can turn that money and give. But when you're attached, you can't give it, you keep it. And so he said, abundance without attachment. And so the course title, which we're doing tonight, is Simple Abundance. And I think it defines it so well. Abundance without attachment. Like you don't own it. It's just passing through. It'd be like if you said you own the waves in the ocean, or you own the mountains, or you owned anything that Creator has created for us. If wealth in the form of money is energy, then how can you own it in the first place? And the only way to resolve it, or the only way to contain it, is to give it. And I think for this season especially, as you're trying to figure out what to get and what to do, and this whole energy that goes on at this holiday is abundance without attachment. When I was a child, and even now, I get so excited with Christmas. I love Christmas because it's a time people smile more, they give more, and you always have, as a child, the question is, why can't this be all year long? But we get that feeling at this season in December. The smelling of the pine trees, the red, everything like, even if you're Jewish, and believe me, I have lots of Jewish friends that always wanted a Christmas tree, and then they grew up and they got a Christmas tree. Just the idea of having a tree in your house that you put twinkle lights on, and just the flavor. We just came back from Rome on Thursday, and we had walked the streets of Rome in the morning, and just the flavor, believe in Jesus or not, believe in Christianity or not, or whatever your faith, there's some feeling of love. Can we use that word, love? And it's a good feeling. And I think that's the human feeling. And then somebody else passed across my desk this other beautiful thing that I don't know if I brought with me, but it was a YouTube that just talked about, they called it the love revolution. I read it in teacher's training, that there's a revolution going on now. And as corny as it may sound to some of you cynics, it's called the love revolution. And I had a meeting with a beautiful pioneer of love really this morning, and she has a dream. It's such a big dream. You can't even imagine how can this manifest. She says it may not manifest in this lifetime. And Yogi Bhajan has said it takes 5 generations perhaps before we go into the manifestation of our dreams right now. And so that's another time to not be attached. If you have a seed now of something you know you have to give, teach, pioneer, don't be attached that everyone gets it or you get outcome and reward at the end of your life, because everything is a continuum. And if they don't get it for a long time, what does it matter? You've contributed to that path of consciousness. And I think for me, if I hadn't met Yogi Bhajan and been a hippie and lived in that love generation, and when he gave the prophecy that 500 years from now, that there would be peace in this world, that this Aquarian age would manifest itself, that people, there would be nobody without food to eat. Like John Lennon said, there'll be no borders. Yes, you may have passports, but there won't be the difficulty it is now on the victory of a green card or a visa to get in and out of countries. And if you're in Lebanon, you can't go to Israel, and Israel you can't. It'll all be resolved. There will be no wars. How? The life will be based on love. Sounds corny. Almost like, I can't believe that. Look at the world the way it is. But if you don't believe in it, then what are you going to do? Just get swallowed up in the chaos and the insanity and the fear that operates the world now? Or are you going to hold to a dream without attachment to outcome? It's up to you. It's a good time as we close out 2014 into 2015, a new era, a new year. What are you doing anyway? Are you just biding time? Are you hoping somebody else does something? Are you looking for love outside your own self-love? I mean, what really are you doing? Or are you contributing to something that's going to make this planet better? If you believe in that. I want Demi convinced.